Okay, next example is the integral of cotangent 2x multiplied to the square root of tangent 2x minus 1 multiplied to secant squared of 2x dx. Now our target is to eliminate the square root or the radical sign. So you will set this as your y. So you will now have y equals the square root of tangent 2x minus 1. So to eliminate the square root sign, you will have to square both sides. You will now have y squared equals tangent of 2x minus 1. Then take the derivative of this equation. You will have 2y dy. Then the derivative of tangent is secant squared. So that is secant squared of 2x. Then the derivative of your angle is 2 dx. Then the derivative of negative 1 is 0. Both having 2 cancels the 2. You will now have y dy equals secant squared of 2x dx. Okay, now this equation will now be cotangent is 1 over tangent of 2x. Then the square root of the tangent of 2x minus 1 multiplied by the secant squared of 2x dx. So secant squared 2x dx, you have the equivalent value. Then the square root of tangent 2x minus 1, you also have the equivalent value. But the value of the tangent 2x, kailangan natin kunin dito. You will now have to transpose negative 1, so that is y squared plus 1, equivalent to tangent of 2x. So you will now have the tangent of 2x as y squared plus 1. So the equation now will be 1 over y squared plus 1. Then the square root of tangent 2x minus 1 is equivalent to y. Then the secant squared 2x dx is equivalent to y dy. So your equation now is y squared dy over y squared plus 1. If you will notice, this equation is improper fraction. So kailangan mo i-divide sa numerator kay denominator. So this will be y squared divided by y squared plus 1. You will have 1, then this will be y squared plus 1, and this will be negative 1. So the equation is now 1 minus 1 over y squared plus 1 dy. So kapag in-integrate mo, simplify muna, you will have dy minus the integral of dy over y squared plus 1. This part is simply equivalent to y. But this part, you will notice, this is similar to arctan. Arctan of x. So that is dx over x squared plus 1. So simply this is minus arctan of y plus c. Supposedly this will be your final answer. Kaya lang naka-function of y. Kailangan ibalik natin sa function of x. So kailangan si y ay square root of tangent of 2x minus 1 minus the arctan of y, which is the square root of tangent of 2x minus 1 plus c. So this will be your final answer. Next example is about the integral of sine, wherein the angle is the square root of x dx. So kailangan matanggal si square root. So you will set your square root of x as y. To cancel out the square root, you have to square both sides again. You will now have y squared is equal to x. Then take the derivative. You will have 2y dy equals now to dx. So simplifying this equation, you will now have sine of y. But the dx is equivalent to 2y dy. Si 2 ay constant, pwede mong ilabas. So your equation now is 2, then the integral of y, then sine of y dy. If you will notice, this equation can be evaluated through by parts. Then we will use the tic-tac-toe method. You will set your u as the y, then the v or the dv part is the sine of y. Take the derivative of the u, you will have y, then 1, then 0. Then take the integral of the dv, that is sine y, which is equivalent to negative of cosine y. Then the integral of the negative cosine y is negative sine y. Then take the diagonal with alternating sign. Now the equivalent of this is 2 multiplied to negative y of cosine y. Then negative and negative, that is positive. So plus sine of y. Let's see. Since this is function of y, you have to transform this into a function of x. So you will now have, wherein y is the square root of x. So this will be negative 2, then square root of x, cosine of square root of x. Then this will be plus 2 sine of the square root of x plus c. And this will be your final answer.